I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, we just thank you that we're able to come here tonight, Lord. Lord, I pray for wisdom for us, the faculty, administration, Lord, make good decisions on behalf of the kids. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
We'll call this meeting to order. I'd like to note that there is a quorum present, with all board members here, and the agenda was posted in a timely fashion. Next item is welcome back to the recognition of Students of the Month in the board conference room. So if the board would come back around to the front. Get this going.
Ms. Howard, if you want to lead us off with your fine elementary students.
It's been a while for this.
It has.
There's something new.
I'm glad you wear long pants for
So we have something called Soaring Cardinals now, and so our Soaring Cardinal, we actually have several, but one of them is Brady Seals, right here. And he also wants to tell you a little bit about, he's a part of our leadership council, student council, so he wants to tell you a little bit about it.
Thank you, Ms. Howell, for asking me to attend the MOD ISD school board meeting. I'm honored to be here. As Ms. Howell said, I am a senior member of the Elementary Leadership Council. We are learning to lead by having a service heart. One of our biggest projects is Socktober. We collect socks and then donate them to the homeless and battered women's shelter in our area. If you would like to help us this year, please bring new socks to the elementary office. Thank you in advance for helping us serve Bowie County.
Thank you.
Good job. Reads better than you do. It's all you call it.
Good job.
Good job.
All right. Good afternoon. Our students of the month, we do them by grade, just because we have so many good kids that we have things going on. You'll even see different things on the internet or on social media that we post out about star student, performance star student, behavior that we've caught or seen throughout the day. We have what we call a caught being good candy jar. If I see a kid holding the door, picking up some paper that somebody dropped or whatever, putting in a trash can, we'll do like even that, caught being good, give them a piece of candy or something different out there, some kind of recognition of some kind. So there's different things that are out there, but as a whole, we let our teachers kind of nominate, vote, and direct us into who they've seen do an unbelievable job for the student of the month for their grade level. This month, for 6th grade, we had Brock Mathis, Brock Mathis was voted for his really strong work ethic. That's the part I was really fired up about. So, Brock Mathis, congratulations, Steve. Our 7th grade student of the month is Miss Jaden Alcorn. And Jaden was awarded this for her pleasant personality. Probably one of the quietest students we have in school, but always smiling and always sweet. Nothing ever seems to get her down. Our 8th grade student of the month, who just got out of volleyball, Bailey Brown.
How the volleyball game go?
They got to win.
With a W.
They got to win.
Our 9th ninth grade student of the month, she actually had to go out of town, was Miss Anna Jo Briggs. So we're gonna move to our 10th grade student of the month. And as always, smart as a whip, probably smarter as a brother. I can't wait to see what those scores look like. 10th grade, Miss Lily Charles. Our 11th grade student of the month, someone that goes above and beyond in helping not just with her teammates and stuff like that in sports, but one who's been doing a really good job with student council and just so many other things, was Brooklyn Henderson. Last but not least, for our students of the month, a senior who has shown unbelievable leadership skills this year, Miss Emma Fothergill. Who would have thought the quiet person could be the stronger leader she's been? Watch the band, it's pretty impressive this year, she's doing a great job.
Congratulations. Good job.
Our last member of the month, staff member of the month, person this month has been somebody that we've been taking notice across campus. And if you'll notice that sometimes there's some lights on around 12 or 1 o'clock at night doing lesson plans and getting papers together. He's volunteered for every single thing that's out there. And every time I walk by, he's going, I cannot thank you enough for letting me be here. He has been very humble and has worked his tail off. Gotten certified in things that most people take years to do, and he's done it in weeks. Mr. Josh Bishop.
Congratulations.
Thank y'all so much. Right out here, they'll get you for all those that are here, we'll have a picture right out here. You're free to stay if you wish, but don't feel like you have to.
It'll be the best. Agenda's public comments. No one signed up, so the next item, communications.
We have none?
Next item, consent agenda. We have the minutes of the August 25th regular meeting of the board, the monthly financial report, and the list of students transferring to the district for the 22-23 school year. Any member have any item for discussion or they like to have pulled? Do we have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll say.
Second, Terry, all in favor, raise your right hand.
Or right hand.
Information items, principal's report, and athletic director.
Miss Howe, 6 weeks in.
6 weeks in, that's it. Okay, so in front of you, you have your board report. These are the current enrollment numbers as of today. You'll see I have last year's numbers. The only one I don't have is pre-K because the report didn't show pre-K from last year. So, but we're at 217. We've had like one kinder come in and then one leave, so we offset equally. And our percentages, our average attendance for each grade is there as well. On the back, talked about who we recognized today was Brady Seals for being a Sorting Cardinal and a leadership council member. So some spotlights is we have chosen to do Sorting Cardinals for each 6 weeks, and teachers will choose either 1 or 2 students from their class that are excellent inside or outside the classroom. They show some trait that they want to recognize. And so those students are going to be recognized this week. We're having them choose, they send in their requests today. And then we're learning and growing our knowledge every day. And so we've got, our students are working every day in the classroom. We've posted pictures on Facebook, Maud ISD, so you can go there and look for what all our students are doing. You'll see that every Friday we have our AR goals that they're meeting. So we've got lots of students participating in AR and reading and enjoying reading. Then we also have a month of Maud Amazing Staff, and so that's for us being an A district. So we've had Coke floats, Kona Ice, and then we had hamburgers for lunch last Friday. And this Friday coming up is they will be able to enjoy a 10-minute massage. Yeah. So then we have the Student Leadership Council. They sponsored a hat day to raise money for their future campaigns. One of them was October that Brady talked about. And it was students paid $1 to wear a hat, and then they were going to use that money for October and Kindness Day and all of that. And then today we had Region 8 visit our teachers and staff to talk about the new curriculum, ask them if they had questions or if they needed help with anything. They spoke with each of them individually, and so they were able to give back positive feedback on that. Upcoming events is we have the Cardinal Cash Store. Say Hello Week is this week. We begin the second 6 weeks. Report cards will go home this Friday. The Leadership Council will meet. Everybody, the whole Leadership Council, not just the elected members. Then October the 6th, Leadership Council will go to Royce City and they will accept their TEPSA award that they're receiving for being an outstanding Leadership Council. And then the 10th, we don't have any school. And then Seniors for Cardinals is going to be on the 13th. And then on the 14th, our dyslexia students are going to travel to Region 8 for Dyslexia Awareness Day, and they're going to put on like a half-day presentation for the dyslexia students and give them some information to take back. And then on the 19th, our Leadership Council has been asked to present at Region 8 at the Principal Summit, and so they're going to present a 45-minute session at Region 8 to the principals of Region 8 to talk about how we started our Leadership Council, how we elect our members, and the campaigns that we do throughout the year. And the students are going to present that with Mr. Brown and Ms. Hudgens assisting.
That's great. Thank you.
Good evening. Once again, our enrollment has increased a little bit from last year, but it's still quite a bit larger than we were 3 or 4 years ago. Matter of fact, we're up probably around 15 to 20 kids than we were 3 or 4 years ago. Attendance averages have been steady for us this month. Not a lot of drops, just a few changes in placement of where kids are right now. But other than that, we still have been pretty strong. Things that have gone on this past month, Justin's came by, did the senior rings, junior ring deal, as far as passing out rings to the juniors, picking up orders, or will be coming up to pick up orders this coming part for the seniors on the 24th, as far as getting their graduation stuff together. The Leap Expo was a really good hit again. I don't know if you get a chance to ever go see anything like that, but basically it just covers a lot of the endorsement areas that we have to have, which is business and industry, arts and humanities, public service, and STEM. As our kids are going around, a lot of times we get tired and cranky with some of our kids, but it's pretty impressive with just about every group that you go bring our kids to. Every one of them say the same thing, that our kids are probably the best behaved, well-mannered kids that they get to deal with at the event. Like I said, sometimes we worry about our kids, but it's pretty impressive how they handle themselves in public. So good job for the parents and a good job for the kids themselves. Mr. Barron's classes, he's done some chicks this past week. One of the other things he's also done with his ag kids is he's going on to a tour out there with JCM again and building that strong partnership with them. A lot of our kids were really fired up and enjoyed their time out there. Our homecoming queen this year was Janie Reed. She had her brother come in and escort her down wearing his military uniform. It's a pretty cool event for them. The last thing that we have really going on that I feel like it's kind of been a big thing for us is we have 59 students right now overall that are taking 91 total courses in dual credit. We have 1 or 2 kids that are taking 4 dual credit classes right now at one time in their schedule, which is very, very commendable. And without saying a whole lot of names, he plays guard on the football team, so he's pretty stinking good kid. He's been busting his tail. We're very proud of him. Some of the classes that we offer there, learning frameworks, college algebra 1 and 2, government, U.S. history, biology, BCIS, and college English. It's pretty impressive of what our kids get to have that a lot of other schools don't get the opportunity. So thank y'all, because without you guys' support, we wouldn't be able to do that. Things that are coming up, we've had a Navy recruiter come out the September the 28th, or will be on September 28th. Our UCA recruiter will be on campus October the 4th. We've already at this point had University of Arkansas, SAU, and TSTC. Our 4 states band contest will be October the 10th. Band UIL marching contest for the UIL portion of it will be October the 11th at Mount Pleasant High School. Seniors will be taking their ACT on the 18th, and our Pink Out Day coming up on October the 21st. October the 21st. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Athletic Director's Report, I pass that out to you. Coach Turner's over with the junior high volleyball in the gym. You can see football is 3-1. We'll be playing Iowa in Rusk this Friday and then start district on October the 7th. Volleyball start district tomorrow at OK. You can certainly see we've had success both in our junior high girls and both of the meets that our junior high girls have run in cross country. You can see those that finished with Mallory Bishop at first, Casey Pickering third, and Miss Churchwell in fifth. Also had Max Bickett finish sixth. Junior high volleyball, both teams were 2-1. I know our C team won tonight, and our B team won, and our A team is currently playing. We actually have enough for 3 teams. I think we have 24 girls playing junior high volleyball. And then junior high football is 1-1. We'll be playing Fruitvale this Thursday here at home at 5:30.
Thank you. Next item, 8, consider and approve memorandum of understanding with the City of Mott.
We talked about this previously, that LifeNet is no longer coming out to the games, and so we've been talking to our volunteer fire department. We were looking at paying the actual volunteers for their time. They've come back with an agreement, rather than paying them individually, to pay the City of Maude, and then the City of Maude is going to use that, I guess, within the fire department. So this is an agreement that we have between us and the City of Maude. So we would pay them $150 a game for the 9 games, for a total of $13.50 for our football season. They'll be at both high school and junior high games.
That's what the guys in the fire department suggested.
The guys at the fire department had a meeting and voted that this is the way they wanted to handle it. And so they their attorney sent this to us. We've looked over it. We think it would be fine for us to agree. This will be ongoing. We can, for this year, and then it'll automatically renew unless we decide to get out. We can get out at any time, so with a notice to the city.
It's $50 cheaper than what we were paying.
It is. It is. And so what we're asking is that we have an EMR and an EMT on site that will support those and have them here. But I do think it's what we need to do for them, and that would be the agreement. It would start back to the first games they've been here. We can pay for the games that they've been at and do that at the end of each month.
Any other questions or discussion? Do we have a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Motion and second. Rusty, all in favor, raise your right hand. Sorry. So we passes 7-4, 1 abstention. Sorry. We're around.
That's fine. 6-4, 1 abstention. 6-0 and 1.
Gotcha.
Next item, consider and approve Mott ISD threat assessment team.
So we've had a threat assessment team. What this team does is if we receive any information about threats, whether that be the school, inside the school, outside the school, this committee goes through, or this team will go through a process to determine, is this a viable threat, is it an immediate threat, and then it has resources, whether that be counseling, law enforcement, etc. We've had that team in place. We do need to update its membership, which would include adding Joe Rochelle and Miss Howe, as well as myself, onto that team. To be a team member, we have all the required team members to be here, and then everyone that is on that team has completed their threat assessment training as required by the state.
Any questions or discussion? We have a motion to approve the Mott ISD threat assessment team.
Oh, my goodness.
Have a motion, have a second?
RJ.
We'll go RJ.
RJ?
All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Approve the 22-23 SHAC School Health Advisory Committee members.
You guys have a list of committee members in front of you, looks like this. This committee meets we meet 4 times a year, and meet on a variety of safety issues and health issues. I would recommend that we approve these members.
Any questions or discussion? We have a motion to approve the SHAC committee members as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Terry, we have a second.
Second.
Second by Rusty. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Item 11, consider possible approval of the athletic field improvements golf practice area.
We talked about, of course, we've got enough to have both boys and girls golf and starting that, and discussed the need to have an area that they could practice here rather than travel somewhere for that hour and come back. What we looked at is there behind the softball field. This proposal is for $27,438. It includes a 7-foot by 50-foot tee box, so that'd be 5 individuals could hit there from one time up to 200 yards there behind the baseball field, all the way up to 300 if we clear some of that area out. And a green that's about 1,000 square foot that we can chip into, putt on. It'll have uphill, downhill, all the breaks that you need, and receive shots from about 50 yards out. It'll be back there on that field where we could use the softball lights as well to have that lit at night. We had several people come out and look at it. The quote that I have today is from Turf Greens and Courts. They were the best price and the best material that we could get.
Broke ground yet?
They have us set for next week. If it is approved, it would take somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks once they start to have it completed.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
About the sport. How will the equipment be furnished, paid for?
We will
As far as
provide,
the students?
sure. As far as right now, we would ask that they provide their clubs. We would provide the other equipment that would be needed. Now, specific golf balls, we can provide what we've typically done in there and provided a kind of that medium grade to lower grade golf ball. If you want to hit a Pro V1, then that's usually on you if you want to hit that. But we can certainly look at those things. We do have a budget for supplies that we would look at. The season itself will start in the spring. I think we'll look somewhere between 4 to 5 tournaments, and then that would include our district tournament at that point. With golf, we can start practice really even outside the school year as soon as possible. There's no real practice limits on that.
There are quite a few districts teams in our district.
We just had this meeting, there's 5 that'll be in our district that'll compete. So, and again, that's our spring district, so a little bit different than football, but that, I know Detroit plays, Cartersville's playing, LK, I'm trying to remember who all, Large Bluff, I think is.
If that ever diminished, could you step up to another level?
Do what?
If that ever diminished before schools are age group, could you step up?
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, that's just your district play. There's plenty of schools that do play region-wide, and you can go to tournaments, even either smaller tournaments or like T-High, PG, and those in Texarkana have tournaments going on right now. That Avery, DeKalb, some of their better players go ahead and play, even though it's not really in their season. Yeah, they go and play on their own or can.
Kids are fired up about it.
It's certainly been growing. I know we've had a lot of interest here. I think it would be, if we're going to do it, I think having this here certainly gives us an advantage and will help them become more and more competitive quicker, especially with the short game. That's what they need to be able to master to be able to compete.
Any other questions or discussion?
No. The softball parking lot is being good.
It's behind it. So back there behind the scoreboard area, we don't ever go back there. Since I've been here, I don't know that we've opened that gate back there other than for construction.
One time, the park back there, but it's been a
We
while.
hadn't parked back there. Do what, sir?
Double gate back there?
Mhm.
Yeah, 15 years ago, there wasn't, 20 years ago, there wasn't a fence.
There's a double gate right there on that backside, but I don't know that we've opened it outside of when we had construction issues going on.
Yeah, it used to be open years ago.
first
We've
started.
talked about at some point about maybe, you know, if we needed to, moving that parking back there behind that visitors football side of it. You know, you had to, you know, make another little gate, fix a little driveway in there, but you could park back there if you had to.
I got that dead tree back there. They gonna follow nothing but on the fence, so.
Yeah, there is a dead tree that died over this summer back there we'll have to do something with.
How close will that be up on the property line?
What's that, this part? The T-line itself will probably be 100 foot is what we looked at off that fence. There's some trees that kind of come out, but we've kind of put it back there behind it. That green in there will be much closer than that to the fence.
Any need for any netting in the future?
The only area that would, where this is currently, and that's one of the reasons I like the area that it is if we start really having kids that could drive deep, you know, that road's 300 yards off, you may need a short something on there to keep it from rolling onto it. I don't know, if anybody gets that in the air, they're Bryce and DeChambeau. It's over 300 in the air to get it there, so I don't know that we need it. You may have to come back at some point on, you know, one of those areas, but really it's pretty wide open right there. That's why it makes, in my opinion, a good place, because you don't have to spend a lot on netting.
I'm not catching it. I'm never hitting 300.
What was that?
I'm never gonna drive the ball 300.
No, you're not. I've never seen you play golf, I'm just guessing.
If we start having that problem, we'll be getting some big trophies.
Find a road down there.
Any other questions, discussion? Do I have a motion to approve the athletic field improvements for the golf practice facility?
I'll make that motion that we approve.
Motion by Rusty, do we have a second?
I'll second.
A second by Ryan, all in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Item 12, discuss and possible approval for an additional retention stipend for employees.
We looked at this, we've done this once before, but looking at kind of everything going on with our employees, and just keeping employees and keeping good folks here at our district, we were looking at an additional retention stipend that we'd use our ESSER funds for, could use our ESSER funds for. We currently have just over $500,000 in balance on ESSER 3. What I'd like to recommend tonight would be to give an additional $1,000 retention stipend to be paid out here in September. The other thing we've kind of looked at is they mentioned that we're looking at the celebration of our staff, kind of a month of celebrations for them. I think it'd be great timing if we were able to do that we could approve that and go ahead and give it to all employees that are back for this semester. Fund-wise, we would use that ESSER money. I said we've got just over $500,000 we've got to spend by next September. Can't think of a better way to give it back to the employees that helped us get an A rating last year.
What's the total price tag on that?
We're right at 85. So, and we'll make sure that, you know, that includes all those that are continuing, but it's right at that number, I believe. Is that correct, Tommy?
Any other questions or discussion? Do I have a motion?
I like the motion.
A motion by Terry to approve the additional retention stipend. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Gap, all in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Discussion of the A through F ratings related to House Bill 3 goals.
So our House Bill 3, we had to have a set goals, and we also passed a calendar. We talked about our A through F rating, which again, we just talked about. We got an A, total of 92, very proud of that. But this is our month that we are scheduled to discuss that. We went ahead and did it last month, and we were excited for that celebration. As we looked at it, we have increased in every area of that A through F, from student achievement to graduation to CCMR. So it really looked well there. We are going to have to come back. Ms. Howe and I have had this discussion. We have changed the testing that we're using for our early childhood literacy. So we had the early childhood goals that we're going to have to change what test we use, and we'll come back with some scores to give you on those. And again, we will revisit those goals in January as far as our 5-year plan. Certainly, after our performance last year, we need to reevaluate those and up some of our goals that we were moving forward. But I feel really good about what our teachers and our students were able to do. again, with that A through F rating. I know it's not everything, but it's certainly something that we're very, very proud of, given everything that our teachers and kids have gone through the last couple of years. As we move forward, a couple of changes for accountability. One, all-star testing is going online, so there won't be any more paper testing, so that's going to be a big change for both our teachers and for our students, having to take those on computer rather than paper-based, and the actual format of the test itself is changing, as well as the accountability ratings. We started having those conversations. The commissioner's been giving us some of those, that the accountability and how they're going to calculate that will change as well. In his meeting this last week, he really again put up this new test that we're getting is tied very strongly to the curriculum in which we have implemented. I know that's a question that we've all had to answer as far as the curriculum we put in. Certainly been some issues with it as we continue to move forward with it. But when we get asked that question, the commissioner of Texas Education is telling us that curriculum is tied to this new these new testing standards. So that was one of the reasons why we certainly, took the chance to have the grant be able to pay for that new curriculum. But he did have that conversation this last week, and going to have another one, I guess we've scheduled for a couple of weeks ahead of time. But just wanted to follow up on our calendar, since this was the month we were supposed to talk about it, that our A through F was again an A. Very proud of the A. All right, that's all I got.
Remember hearing those A's. All right, superintendent's report.
All right, Finch project, I talked to Walter this week. The materials have been ordered. We've got a little bit of a shipping delay than what we originally anticipated. They're looking at first part of probably October before they've got the post in, but before all the panels can come in. He told me this week it may be first part of October before we can have those in. Again, they'll start back here, then build the front fence, then the back fence, and the gates will be the last thing that they'll install. Other upgrades, maintenance staff got all the safes in all the classrooms. They're coming out at the end of September on the 29th to finalize all the installation software to make sure all of the Wi-Fi capabilities work. And at that point, we'll make sure that everything that we want will be here to be able to put into all of those safes. And Mark is got part of our servers for the AI detection, but there's still part of that we're waiting to get in for him. As you noticed when you first came in, we did get the push button lock here on our board. All of those are working, and at this point all of our doors are working. We've got with Sword Company, there's a couple of closures we need to replace, some hinges, and then those steel doors down on the side swing, along with band hall doors. Those two sets of doors need to be replaced. So we're waiting on them. They've been ordered to get those here and get those installed. Collegiate Edu Network, we're going to have they're coming back out on September 27th. We're going to sit down and really go through all of our plans and start looking at what it will certainly take in that year-long planning to start moving towards those goals. So we look forward to have that meeting, and I'll have more for you in the October meeting on what we've discussed. We had our first Senior for Cardinals lunch. I think we had just over 30 seniors. Glad to be back. Certainly enjoyed it. Our Elementary Leadership Council presented to them. Miss Neal did a great job with some chicken spaghetti for them. They certainly loved it. They took every senior pass that I had. We had to make more after that meeting. That was good for them. It was just, I'll take one. Someone wanted 2, 3. Here you go. One for all of you and your friends. We enjoy them. Great meeting. Board training here in Maud, November 3rd. And then we have the next opportunity, which this ISO training is something we all need. We have to do that every 2 years. Everybody's expired. So December the 6th, that would be at Region 8. That typically is Roadhouse night or something similar. And then remember September 30th, the school board safety training. I have several of you that have, several of you that have not. But I need everybody September 30th school training. If you need that link, I will resend it. That's all I've got.
Good times.
Good times.
All right. We'll be going into executive session at 7:09 p.m. We'll be discussing personnel, according to Texas Government Code Section 551.074, discussion of personnel, and discussion and consider approving Mod ISD school guardians for that same Texas Government Code. Take a 5-minute break, reconvene in executive.
Yes, sir.
We're coming back into open session at 7:24 PM. The next item is consider and take action to approve the Mod ISD school guardians as they were presented.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Terry, second by Rusty. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Next item is adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion, we have a second. Second by Rusty. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous.